Welcome to the Knowledge Gumbo Podcast. I'm Alicia Thomas. This is a space where we share the stories and the wisdom of Black women who shaped the world we're still working to build. Each week consists of sharing one quote, a little context, an honest reflection, followed by a question that you can carry with you. Let's begin with today's quote. Film should illuminate what life feels like from the inside. Kathleen Collins. The moment Kathleen Collins, let me back that up. Kathleen Collins was a playwright, a screenwriter, and a filmmaker who in 1982 became one of the first Black American women to direct a feature film. That film, Losing Ground, tells the story of a Black female philosophy professor who was navigating a marriage that is quietly suffocating her in her life. It was sharp, literary, looked at the interior in an honest way that Black women's stories on screen are almost never told. Collins died of breast cancer in 1988 at just 46 years old. The film sat unseen for decades before being rediscovered and celebrated as the masterwork it always was. I've been thinking about, when you look at the quote, what she said by inside. Not the inside of a community, not the inside of history. What it feels like to be a person living it, not the person being observed. Collins was asking, what does it feel like to be a Black woman who is educated but unfulfilled, who is intellectually alive but emotionally starved, who has built everything the world told her to build and still wakes up feeling like something it's missing. That is a story told from the inside. It starts from being conscious of what one knows, believes, and acts towards oneself. When we look at the word illuminate, also strikes a chord somewhere. It's not documenting, it's not representation, it's not the telling. Because illuminate, of course, is the same word as light. And it seems to be somewhat of a theme when we look as a whole in media and communications. Their job is to turn on the light of truth and share it. And Collins wanted her film to shine a light on something that wouldn't be seen otherwise. What isn't always shown is the interior life of a Black woman who is publicly together, but privately she is falling apart. And a major part of the survival of Black women throughout history is learning to perform competently. And her competence is so fluent that no one asks if she is okay. It is the foundation of the phrase that we hear a lot of times of strong Black woman. I've lived in that place, and I suspect a lot of you have as well. And I think that's why this film, when it was finally found again, hit people so hard. They recognized themselves. The story of her movie Losing Ground's disappearance is itself a story about who gets remembered. She made the film, screened it, tried to get it, distributed it, and was largely blocked by distribution systems because they didn't know what to do with a story that was layered, that they considered complicated, about a Black woman in a complicated marriage. because she wasn't struggling against racism. She wasn't on fire for justice. She was just living life that didn't fit in any acceptable template that they had for Black women. Her daughter rescued the film after her death. And the critics who finally saw it said things like, "Why didn't we know about this?" And we know it's because the films that get seen are the ones that gatekeepers believe are worth seeing and that they believe will make money. Let's just be real about that. This film was a nuanced interior portrait of a Black woman. How do I say? It was, like I said before, what gatekeepers were not looking for, what studios were not looking for. And this statement can be applied as well to music as well as literature. Documentary and narrative filmmaking by Black women have always been up against it. It's a heavy-handed industry who tries to control not only who gets in front of the camera, but who gets to direct behind it. The system was designed to control whose complexity is considered worth an audience's time. With all the negatives about the internet, one of the beauties of it is the power to circumvent the gatekeepers and share stories from a diverse perspective. Carry this question with you for the week. Whose story do you carry inside you that has never been filmed, never been told, or even really named out loud? What would it mean to give it this kind of light, to bring it into the light? If you're not sure about how to do that, I am throwing out there that you should sign up for the Knowledge Gumbo Newsletter, where each week we share interesting stories about little-known Black women. And we also are sharing tips and tricks on how to start recording and documenting our stories. The link for signing up will be in the description box. That brings us to the end of today's serving of Knowledge Gumbo Podcast. Thank you for sharing one of your greatest gifts. That is the gift of time. If this quote stirs something for you, like great gumbo, let it simmer. And then choose to share it, preferably with someone you love. Until next time, take great care of your mind, of your body, and your soul.